We're here at Blackbush today. We're going to pattern the B55. We've got a couple of these to make, but one of them is quite special, is for the Baron pilot, the YouTube pilot over in America, and he's going to have a couple of little extra special bits.
So for outdoor patterning, today is the day. This is exactly what we need every single time. No wind. You can just see the windsock all the way down there. Nothing. A couple of minutes ago it was maybe 2 or 3 knots, but now there's just not a breath of wind. It's dry, it's due to be dry all day long, so this is absolutely perfect. And when you look at the aircraft that we're patterning here, you can see none of the plastic is moving around, it's just sat perfectly still. For Baron Pilot over in the US, for his YouTube channel, we're going to put his graphics and his logo on the cover, but it's trying to work out what will look best. So rather than just a little label that says Baron Pilot, it'd be much cooler to do something more with a greater impact. So it's whether you go sort of at an angle so it looks like it's over the aircraft, or whether straight down the aircraft looks a little bit too formal. We've got the handle on the other side. It's quite nice, it's clean, so there'll be no impact. But if the logo comes across here and we've got a pocket, we're going to have to incorporate the pocket in the design so that in the middle of some text you don't have a silver box. So yeah, so all I'll do at this point is I'll draw some lines that might be, whether it's straight and level or at a slight angle, just so that when we're back in the factory, if we do want something straight and level and we end up with it like this, it doesn't look stupid. Because it can be quite hard on the table to guess the attitude of the aircraft depending on whether it's got fuel or not and how it's sitting. So the stapler is a really strong way of securing the darts. You could do it 2 ways. You could draw it and tape it down, but when you pull the other side, the tape tends to come off. Then it starts to open up and move, and then when the finished cover goes on, it's just a little bit big in areas. Whereas if you secure it with the stapler, nice and secure, you can start pulling against it with the tape, forming the shape that the cover with, because when you put the cover on and you pull the straps up tight, that's the shape we're after when we pattern it. So we've got the OAT on this side. The reason I pattern the other side is because I can stand on the wing. There's no walkway on this side. So I've just got to mark anything that is on this side, mark onto the pattern, remembering to write that it is for this side, not for that side. 18 by 7. And that's the OAT, and it's on the port side only. So that's the pattern done for the YouTuber Baron Pilot. Christoph and I are now going to work out some designs for his logo for the side of the cover, and while that's happening we'll be preparing the pattern, getting the material cut, start the build, by which time we'll have finished what we want to do with the artwork and apply the artwork to the cover. So from there, back to the factory. Full credits, Christopher. This is how it's done. When we have to make a cover for something that's on the other side of the Atlantic, we need a bit of information, and he's absolutely nailed it here. So we've got a reference point of the windshield where it meets the airframe, and then in each picture he's not only shown us what is on the aircraft, he's also left the tape measure so that we can see the distances between. We can then use the tape measure to scale off the widths and the heights if he forgot, for instance, but he didn't, because he's done a really thorough job. So we've got tape measure distances of everything: vents, OAT, aerials, we've got Garmin probes, we've got absolutely everything there. So look at that. Night cams on the underside so that the straps don't hit it. Undercarriage legs. Yep, spot on, top marks. That's exactly what we need if we're going to build a cover that's the other side of the world. So let's take that down to the workshop and get started.
So now we know what we're doing. Let's start putting the logo on. So we've already got the B on, we've got the A, which is stuck down, and the process that we have to keep repeating, just to make sure that nothing is all over the place, is we get the pattern in place, we take the letter, and we start to build it up, and we've got to keep just getting it in position. The reason we've got it see-through is so that we can actually see what we're doing. So we've got the letter perfectly on and in position. We remove that, take it over, and then the key element to keeping this looking absolutely perfect is so that you don't see any thread. And to do that, we use identical coloured thread. So we'll just thread this up and sew it on. And then once these two are on, we'll take it back across, grab the next two, and keep repeating the process. Right. So now we just basically have to work our way around the lettering, keeping it as flat as possible and keeping as close to the edge as possible. And you can see why we can't put that many letters on in one go, because you're really scrunching the material up, turning it round, getting it under the machine. By this point, 3 or so would have probably fallen off. And that's it. That's the Baron cover, all complete, ready to go. Send it over to the States. Enjoy, Christopher. Safe flying. The Baron pilot received our cover, and here's him fitting it for the first time. Just as well, look at that storm rolling in. We really enjoy watching the Baron pilot's videos, and we're super proud that our covers will form part of his touring kit. Thanks for watching this video. Give us a follow for more great content and covers in the future.